Hey guys, Drift0r here. I have an interesting video for you today. It's a theater mode montage and a gameplay commentary, but I'm not here alone. I'm here with a heroic peanut. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hey guys, my name is a heroic peanut, and yeah, I'm here to help commentate this footage.
This is something that I don't see enough of these days. I used to do a lot more of these, and I will be very embarrassed to admit that I just today found out how to properly work the theater mode because it'd kind of been online and offline, and I see that you've been using it for quite a bit longer. What do you think about the theater mode in this game?
I think it's good. It's brought it back to the original Black Ops type theater mode where you can. I mean, it's taken a few things from the original Black Ops where you can follow things and do some cool cinematics and things like that, as well as the scroll through. But it's also implemented something from Modern Warfare 3 as well with the controls and that kind of thing and how you can go through it. But all in all, I think it's good. And apart from the recent glitch, I think it's done quite well.
There was a recent glitch. Are you talking about the one where it just like wasn't working?
Yeah, it wasn't working. How the people glitched it up for a couple of weeks and doing the 10th prestige or whatever it was. But yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Gotcha. That's a pretty brutal glitch. And I gotta ask you, why do you go so much with the tomahawks here? Why not use real guns instead?
I mean, it's come from seeing a few other YouTubers. Like, not really to drop names, but Miss Danielle and things like that, who basically used the combat axe in a gameplay, and I find it much more interesting. I find it much more skillful, I guess, to try and defeat your opponent in a different way, in a creative way, and it just makes for a much more interesting, gameplay and a different challenge.
I'm totally feeling you on that. I do a lot of, every gun for in-depth. I have to use it a little bit, but when I play just to play, I'm always using silly stuff like the KSG, or I actually did KSG and Combat Axe today, but I didn't have fast hands, and I found that it's actually pretty brutal in this game if you don't have fast hands.
Yeah, it is, and like especially with, I mean, the way that Black Ops 2 has come in with this. The combat axe.
Oh my god! Sorry, I'm watching the video and I just saw that saw you nail that guy.
Yeah, I like that shot. It's a really cool shot. But yeah, that's the kind of thing that I like to do, and the way that the combat axe works in this game is slightly different to how it did as a throwing knife in Modern Warfare 3 and obviously the original Tomahawk. By the way that it doesn't necessarily always give you the benefit of the doubt. In terms of like the hitboxes and things like that, but
yeah, it seems like it has the hitbox of the throwing knife, because in Black Ops 1 it felt like the Tomahawk had a big fat hitbox, but when we moved over to MW3, the throwing knife was it was pretty sad, and I didn't like to use it as much because it felt like it would just like go between their legs and shave off a pube hair and they'd be like, I'm fine. This one of the things that I did notice about it is that in the original Black Ops, it threw kind of slow. Like, you could chunk it instantly, but when you let go, it was like a slow-moving projectile, so you had to aim ahead.
Yeah.
This one, its velocity is like really, really fast, so you don't have to aim ahead as very much, and that kind of screws me up because I'm always chunking it ahead of where people are going.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's been definitely a big adjustment from the 3 games, and the original Black Ops was. I loved it for the tomahawking. It was just like, it was big, chunky, made a huge sound when it hit it. So satisfying. It bounced off absolutely anything where you wanted it to, and it worked really well. It gave you the benefit of the doubt with the kills, with the hitboxes. But moving on to Modern Warfare 3, obviously it made things a lot more difficult, and it made knifing and throwing knifing much more skillful, I guess. And definitely moving into Black Ops 2, yeah, like, it's just made it even more difficult, and I'm afraid to say
well, there is one thing that's easier.
Yeah.
You in this one, you don't have to hit X to pick up your tomahawk or run over scavenger packs. Like, you can just walk over it, which makes getting feeds and stuff way easier. Because I used to watch people that would do this kind of tomahawk stuff, and they'd always have scavenger, and they'd be fighting for those little blue packs. But now they can just get them back without having to hit X and worrying about picking up a gun or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, at first I didn't like it just because I was so used to doing the whole pickup thing and trying to do the feeds, but now I think it's great. And it's done wonders for the, yeah, like you said, the feeds and that kind of thing. But Yeah, I don't know. Just since Modern Warfare 3 brought out the All or Nothing playlist, as much as I liked it, I think it kind of made everyone think that they could be a knifer, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people go through little phases. Or I know I did it one time. I went through a very heavy tomahawk phase, and I thought like maybe I was gonna be that tomahawk guy, but it didn't really work out that way. On a related note, the ballistic knife, which you've also been using here, I found much easier to use in this game because in Black Ops 1, when I pulled the trigger on the ballistic knife, it had a sort of kind of delay to it, like it would shoot later, and then it would shoot a little bit slow. This one, I just pulled the trigger, and it's like a little blowgun, like it just hits people very, very quickly, and I like that.
Yeah, no, I like that too, and obviously it took a long time to get the ballistic knife in this game, but once you get it, it makes life a lot easier, and like you said, the velocity I find is you know, kind of similar to the combat axe, where it's been sped up a little bit. The projectile is a little bit, you know, longer and flatter, but you know, we work with these things, and we got to adjust to it.
Well, the actual knifing, I just saw you miss somebody. The knifing is, they might have listened to the community a little bit too much, because it's very, depending on who you're asked, like some people like, the knife is so unfair, and they're mad because they got stabbed. But then on the flip side, you can get in people's faces and just swing and swing and swing, and because it has very low range and very little auto aim, you have to be like in their face and looking perfectly at them. The knife won't drag or side or back anymore. It's actually so hard to knife now, I very rarely bother, and I just continue shooting them, which, to be honest with you, always made the most sense to me anyway, because if somebody's in my face and I have a submachine gun, I'm not going to be like, oh, you get the knife out.
Yeah, exactly.
You're getting sprayed.
That makes life hard, but like since they brought out this combat knife thing that you get like right at the start, and when you don't equip something, like you literally just have to sit on somebody's face to knife them, and that's what infuriated me, but getting the ballistic knife, it obviously gives you a little bit more range in the knife kills and stuff like that. But like you still
does. I was under the impression that the ballistic knife didn't change the range, but it only made your knife speed faster.
I find maybe, but I find that I've like done a few lunge kills. I'm sure you're aware of what like a lunge knife is, but like in terms of against a combat knife where you literally just sort of swipe at their throats. The ballistic knife it's a sort of like everyone sort of runs and like dives at the guy to shove them in. So Well,
one tip I can give you is that I saw a video. I was gonna do an in-depth on it and try to give that person credit, but I haven't yet. That the B23R with tactical knife actually has the best range.
All right.
Yeah, it seems crazy to me too, but I saw the video and it looked pretty solid. That being said, you have a range of nothing, and then with the B23R, you have a range of a little bit better than nothing, so it's not like the most impressive thing in the world.
Yeah, but it'll still make a difference, definitely. Well, I must try that.
It'll make people dead.
Yeah. No.
And if you're using that, you also have a gun too. You can shoot people with real bullets and things.
Yeah, I mean.
And then get called a faggot because that gun is overpowered, and then whatever gun kills somebody is overpowered. Oh my God, you're using combat axes. That's just not fair. Why can't you use a real gun like everybody else?
See, that's what I avoid. Like by using a combat axe, like people go, you just can't. Like you got no argument with me. Like you can't say, oh, you cheated. It's like I've got literally the hardest thing to kill you with in this game, and like I seem to beat you. So I like that.
You'd be surprised though. I think back in the original Black Ops, me and maybe it was MLC Stealth and some other people, we teamed up and we ran. It was throwing knives. No, my bad. Not throwing knives. Tomahawks and ballistic knives only. Yeah, I think I did it on Respawn. I called it Knife Only Search and Destroy. We played the not hardcore Search and Destroy, but it was like the team-based one. I forget, like Team Objective. I don't know, the one where all the tryhards played. And we did Search and Destroy with knives only and beat the other team, and they were screaming at us, calling us tryhards and losers and this kind of stuff. Like, you got beat with knives. You need to shut the fuck up. Seriously.
Exactly. And like I find that great when we get a team of like my friends together or my buddies, and we go knife only or combat axe only. Like you have so much fun with it. You've got to use team tactics and to try and swamp and stun people so that other people can run through and get feeds. Like it's a totally different gameplay, and I find that so much more interesting than just going for KD ratios and all that kind of stuff. So
Well, I like to think of it like if you're playing with knife only, you're the predator and everybody else is the commandos. Like you're strong, but you just can't come out and jump into all that gunfire. But if what I've been watching you do is like if you come around behind them, it's mostly just flanking, but it's like a close range kind of flanking. So you have to be like half ninja, half knife artist, and you get people that aren't paying attention or really aren't expecting that kind of tactic. And of course, some very crazy long range kills like that. That was pretty impressive too, to tell you the truth.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, like my style of gameplay obviously changes from being by being like a knife only player, but then I get bored and I start running out in the open and trying big bank shots and things like that, which you probably saw me do during that gameplay. But 15 and 15.
Yeah, I make the same mistake.
It was all right. I guess. So
just average. Yeah, I'm just like doing my throwing dives. It's just so average. Well, I got a few questions about you. Like, you live in Australia, correct?
yes, I do. Brisbane, Australia.
Brisbane, Australia.
Hmm.
I know that from what was the name of the book about the submarine captain and the world was ending and the last city left was Brisbane, Australia because that's because the radiation was working its way down south of the equator.
I have no idea.
It's the world doesn't end with a bang; it ends with a whimper.
Oh, right. I don't.
Damn it, I read that book. I can't remember it though. That's all I know about Brisbane, Australia. Is it's the southernmost large city in the world, if I'm not mistaken.
All right. I'm pretty sure Sydney is bigger than Brisbane, but yeah.
No, no, it's we can't have your logic in here today.
Okay, then we'll go with that. Brisbane is the largest city south. But
Sorry.
it's stinking hot right now, and yeah, loving it. Gonna have a hot Christmas.
Well, I'm in Texas, and it's like 75, 80 degrees, and I think we're gonna have a dry, dusty Christmas here. So
All
I
right.
feel you.
Yeah.
What is that? A ghost axe? I don't even understand that. I just watched this kill.
Yeah, no, that's
Did theater mode
that's
just
theater
die?
mode. Theater mode does that. It'll give you something to lock onto. So you'll find if when I'm like close to a combat axe in theater mode, or something like a projectile or anything, like a attack grenade, whatever, it'll give you the option to lock onto it and follow it. So you may see that sometimes people have done it in montages, or they'll follow the combat
Oh,
axe.
that's nice.
And
Oh my God, because in Black Ops 1, I had to manually follow it. It was such a huge pain in my ass.
yeah, me and my friends used to use the camera, dolly camera, or whatever it was in Black Ops
Hmm.
1, and you could follow it like that, and that worked okay if you knew how to use it. But like I mean, this is great in this game. That's a great feature, but when you don't want to lock onto it, it's going to be green and red and all that kind of thing like you saw before. So yeah.
Well, that's I get what it's doing. That's indicating to you that it's there. Well, we are moving into the last bit of this video, and for everybody that's still watching, I would appreciate it if you would check out a Heroic Peanut or Peanut's channel. His link is the first one down there in the description. It's kind of hard to miss. So if you're interested in this kind of commentary or this kind of theater mode editing or gameplay or any of that, I'd appreciate it if you check him out.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.